be joined by Brewers principal owner Mark Attanasio, sitting in his seat down there at Miller Park, front row. How you doing, Mark?
Front row, looking for a picture of my grandson Owen.
And congratulations.
I can hold him up on the broadcast here. Thank you.
How's everybody doing?
Really well, thanks. Everybody's Elizabeth, most importantly, the mom, and my son Dan, and Grandma Deb.
I imagine, don't see Debbie down there. She might be babysitting, perhaps.
Yeah, no, she's sent a bunch of pictures. I wanted to try to find one to hold up and show you, but maybe we get some runners on base, we'll be able to do that.
I'd say we need a nice long innings. We have a chance to do that. That would be good as Braun leads off against Kyle Kendrick in the bottom of the third. Well, Mark, I think we start off with a very general question here. This ball club, a game over 500, and Rock and I were talking. Junior Guerra is trying to work his way back to health. Your opening day starter hasn't been around. Outside of the Eric Thames and all the home runs, what has pleased you most about this team to date here as we approach the middle of May?
Number one thing is the way the teams come together as a team. We talked maybe opening day about how it's really good feeling chemistry in the clubhouse, very first day of spring. And I think you see that out there. All these guys pulling for each other, and it's translated to wins.
17 of them, as a matter of fact. Rock and I were talking the series against the Cardinals, where the Brewers won that series, and for historical perspective, if you want to call it that, it's the first time that they've won a series against the Cardinals in 3 years. But there's so many guys on this team. Braun's a notable exception, but these guys aren't aware of that. It's like they're carving their own niche. Is it safe to say that you're seeing a hunger with these young guys who are saying, look, whatever happened 3 or 4 years ago, whatever, we're gonna write our own story here right now with a group of young talented players?
I think the good news in this is we really didn't have a prolonged decline. We had somewhat of that when I first came in as the owner, where it's several years of losing, and so guys just got tired of that. You didn't really have that here.
This foul ball will carry out a play.
We were, 2014, we were first place 150 days.
Right.
So it really was, we had very difficult end of the season, and then difficult start to the next season, and made all the changes pretty much in one fell swoop. So we didn't go through that prolonged pain. We went through pain, as everybody on this broadcast knows.
You don't need 2
minutes. But it
minutes.
wasn't prolonged pain.
Yeah, it's been interesting. We were going through spring training. We're talking a lot about the lower minor leagues as Ryan Braun gets rung up on a pitch away. But I guess the focus, Mark, for us up here is we were concentrating on minor leagues, guys down there, in the rebuild, if you will. But all of a sudden now, the way this team is playing, I mean, the shift has been. Look at the way these young guys are starting to make adjustments in the big leagues. Orlando Arcia, Keon Broxton. It's been real gratifying to see.
Yeah, the guys, they're quick learners. That's how they get to the big leagues so fast. And speaking of fast, having Orlando and Keon up in the middle, and as well, by the way, as Jonathan VR when he's most nights he's playing at second base. They're really fast defense now, and we've seen a number of plays already this season where those guys have made things happen. So we like to, it's more fun to talk about leading the majors in home runs or the things we talk about, but I think speed on defense has made a difference this year as well.
I think that the fact that David Stearns made a commitment to some left-handed thump in the lineup, I mean, with Eric Thames and Travis Shaw, I think he accomplished that in a short sample here so far this year. It's got to be nice to see.
I can see David has schooled you well to focus on these short sample size and not get ahead of yourselves. But look, we actually thought Travis would hit for power, and we talked on the broadcast, and David has too. Eric, we looked at more as a pure hitter, and the power has been a pleasant surprise. We know he had in Korea, but we thought he was going to be more of a gap hitter, and he still may end up being more of a gap hitter, but emphasis on the word hitter.
2-2 now to Travis Shaw with 1 out in the third inning.
Yeah, there were 2 articles in the media. One was on ESPN should, well, actually the ESPN article was the Red Sox were going to draft, or were looking at signing Eric Thames, and then there was a piece in the local paper, should they have not traded Travis Shaw. So, you know, just you can see David's made moves here that, you know, have made a difference, and I think, again, the way that the guys have all gelled around that's been key to success so far.
I think one of the biggest moves that he made is the one that he made mid-season here, or during this season, picking up Oliver Drake. I mean, how good has he been out of that pen?
Shaw with a liner that is foul down the line.
You know, I asked the guys in the coaches' room last night. Drake's pitching that American League East, and so he's hardened by it, and was able to come in the 9th inning yesterday in a game we wanted to win and do very well. And one of the other things they were talking about is, which, you know, I don't know if, since I was watching from the stands, you guys talked about, you know, Orlando Garcia made a play on a ball that was spinning in a really odd fashion, and he made that look easy. If he didn't handle that ball right, it could have been a different inning.
Yeah, he is so smooth, so much fun to watch here as we visit with Brewers principal owner Mark Attanasio. A full count here to Travis Shaw with 1 out in the 3rd inning against Kyle Kendrick. Mark, I want to ask you about Craig Counsell here. Let's see what Shaw does in this at bat. Payoff pitch coming. Back up the middle, a screamer into center field, a base hit.
Oh, look out. That was head high going right back at Kendrick. Oh, it's such a sweet swing for Travis Shaw. I mean, just on balance, keeps that bat in the hitting zone a long time, and just a rocket right back through the middle. You can see how close that came to the Red Sox pitcher.
Shaw with a 2-for-2 night, infield single and a hard one back up the middle. Mark, I want to ask you about Craig Counsell, because it's been about 2 years and a few days now since he became the manager. And from the outside looking in, I've never noticed Craig as uncomfortable by any means in the role as manager. But have you seen a growth in him where he is really settled in now, and there's no question that this is a role that he embraces and is also, by the way, pretty good with?
You know, I may have mentioned, not to repeat my interview opening day, but there was a difference which I felt was discernible between the first spring and the second spring in the command of the clubhouse. Now, the Craig Counsell commands the clubhouse.
Double play ball, Rutledge, Pedroia, and Ramirez. As this inning comes to an end. Mark, we cut you off right there. So.
No, well, we jinxed it by saying we're going to have a long inning, guys.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate it.
You can zoom in on my grandson, Owen.
There you go.
There you go.
There he is.
Nice.
That's a great way to go to break.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys. Appreciate it. Look for you later.
All
Thanks,
right,
Mark.
Take care. All right, we are through 3 here at Miller Park. It's 2-1 Brewers.